All right. And you know what's funny is I actually did want a beer. So I think I'm gonna start with with the one bev. All right, wait, Steve, before we even crack,
Oh,
editing this made me realize I didn't even do the full thing. I didn't even say the name of the show
oh no.
or the intro last time. Okay. Oh my god. I have to stop looking at 90 my
Your 90s
90s hair.
haircut.
I just got a haircut and
Oh,
anyways,
nice.
welcome to Missin the Homies. This is the show where I bullshit with my homies. Steve, welcome back for night 2.
Sounds
Let's kick it
good.
off right. I can't do
Okay, that's actually not that bad. Not bad.
it. Is that pamplemousse flavor?
Yes, it is.
I
I've
used,
actually never had a LaCroix, so I was just like, wait, I need to try this.
you've never had a LaCroix.
But
Oh
we
my
just
god.
have like all this stuff from the housewarming party this past weekend. And I was like, oh my God, what do I pick?
Wow, what a segue because that was literally going to be the first thing I asked. How'd it go?
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun. We had a few more people than I think anticipated, but it was still great. It was still a good time. Everybody loved seeing the house and hung out. Had some of my friends, some of Melanie's like friends and work friends, and then we had a couple of cousins stop by. So it was
Oh,
good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank
Cheers.
you.
We will be seeing it soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Thanksgiving break.
How did you Okay, so how are you going into the housewarming party? Because I was stressed going into ours, but I don't know. I just wasn't I didn't think about the party at all until the night. Like I thought about all the things that needed to be done before the party.
So yeah, I think yeah, we're kind of similar. So like Melanie was more, I mean, we both kind of were. She I think more thinks of like the party planner aspect, which I kind of like was thinking a little bit, but I was like, okay, that's whatever. I'm thinking like, okay, do I need to fill this like hole in the wall, or do I need to put like a new like couch? We bought the new couch, and like where is this going so that like not that somebody doesn't trip or get electrocuted? You know what I mean? Like
Trip
stuff like
or
that.
so you were closing up the loose wires and putting
Yeah,
the
yeah,
couch
yeah.
in place.
Well, it's funny. So, like in the living room, this is built like 1963 or something like that. So, in the
I didn't
corner of the
know.
living room, there's like a hole for like an outlet for like a cable line. And I'm like, well, we don't really need that anymore. So, I was just trying to like figure it out and either take it off or pull the cord out or whatever. And so I took the cover off and couldn't get the cord out. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to put it in and then just put drywall over it. So now it's like you can't even see it because I put that and then paint over it and it's done. You know what I mean? It's like little stuff like that.
And how involved was my uncle with you
Yeah.
guys moving in?
Oh, instrumental, man. Like him and Andrew, especially with like all the lights and like electrical stuff, and then like him knowing a guy to like help us out because we didn't have just our like inspection to close on the house. We like in City of Trenton, you have to go through a city inspection. So there's a
Hmm.
list of like things like, oh, you need to put this up to code, this up to code. So like one of the things was the
So you
gas
had to
line.
get two inspections because you had to
Yeah.
get one for closing as
Which
well.
that guy was like, oh yeah, this like the house. He's like, oh, this house has like good bones. You just need to fix up a few things.
Good
Like
bones.
not this is not going to be a big deal. But the guy that was helping us out, he's like, oh yeah, for the city, they're very particular about things. So we'll get the stuff done and no worries. And we got it all done. And I mean, the two inspectors for the city that came out, they were here maybe 5 minutes. They were like, check, 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 cool, done. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it was like not a big deal, but he was kind of like hyping it up to be like a big deal, but it actually wasn't that bad at all.
Well, because ours was a whole day thing, not a whole day thing, but our guy was
Well, the first inspection, yeah, that guy was
to close
here
or for the is
yeah,
that
to
one for the
close.
city?
To close, that guy was he was a friend of Donnie's that helped us like close and stuff, and
Shout out Downriver Donnie.
yeah, he was there for probably like 2 or 3 hours.
Uh,
I would say so. Yeah, he was checking on things and like showing us like, oh, this might need to be upgraded or fixed, or oh, you might get a few more years out of this, just stuff like that. But no,
yeah.
the city inspectors for Trenton, they were here maybe 5 minutes each time.
So they were there for 5 minutes, but they were pickier.
I guess. Yeah.
Interesting. So they
The
came
one
and they
thing was
already.
like the gas line for the fireplace because we weren't going to use it, so we're like,
Do you guys
okay,
have a
well,
fireplace?
yeah, we have a fireplace in the living room,
Sick.
but we are never gonna like actually use it. So we're like, hey, just cap off the gas line. We
What?
don't need
Why
it.
not?
No, we don't need it. It's just like decoration, honestly.
Because we have one too, and it's funny that you say that because literally it was literally like 2 nights ago. I was like, oh man, it's freezing in here, and I was like, I don't want to turn on the heat.
Yeah.
Me and they were hanging out in the green room, so I was like, oh, I'll just turn on the fireplace, and I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot how to turn it on because ours is like they got the whole and our inspector showed us. He's like, yo, you got the key here, and I know there's the pilot light and all that, but I was like, do I turn the gas on first and then light? I was like this close to calling my uncle, and then I was like, you know what, it's fine. I was gonna call
Think of it like
your father-in-law.
like a what is it? Like a grill. Like you got to turn on the gas first and then you light it. But most of them now it's like it's all in one.
Yeah. So I was just nervous. I was like, I really don't. I don't want to blow this place up right now. So I was like, I'm not doing it. I was like, and then I looked. I was like, it was like 8 o'clock our time. I was like, so it'd be 9 o'clock. I was like, is my uncle gonna be up? And then Nay was like, oh, you could just call my dad. And I was like, I don't want to bother your dad for like a 30-second question. I was like, I could Google this, but I'm like, yeah.
That is also what they're there for sometimes, though.
Exactly, and that's how Nay's dad was for the garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Which like this is so boring, but like I love this homeowner talk anyway. Like I'm so very in it.
I think it's like so interesting because not that like my dad was very handy, but like we didn't have to do I guess that many like things, or we had somebody, so like I never learned.
What do you mean? Like at the house? Like growing up?
At my house, like that we live in, like where I grew up. I mean, I grew up a couple houses, but you know what I mean? Like we always either hired somebody or like he kind of did it himself. I never like learned how to do drywall, like fixing that,
you were gonna say drugs.
Electrical or whatever. Like... I didn't learn any of that stuff till like buying this house. So I'm so interested to be like, oh wait, how do I do this? Because like that's the next thing for us is we have like an old sink and we bought a new one, but we just need to actually like get it in. So we have to, like a full sink. Yeah. Whoa. It's like ours is a full sink, but it's funny. It's shaped like a what is it, a hexagon or something like that? So it's got edges to it.
Interesting.
So we're gonna take that out and put a stainless steel like square rectangle.
Yeah.
One in there because like it has like the faucet and you just like turn it on with one valve. Yeah. But then thingy. On the side is your sprayer. So it's separate.
That's so stupid.
So you pull that out and then you use that. Yeah, but now
you gotta have it all in
one. Attached already.
I got you. Which is, we had our inspection went really, really smoothly. Like we had two things in the
like major with the house. I don't think like they all go pretty smooth.
Yeah, and the only thing that we had that our inspector even made a note of was like the water pressure in the kitchen sink. And so we were like, oh, he checked everything and he was like, it could be either the water, like the actual water, or it could just be the sink. So we wound up like fucking with the sink a little bit. So we replaced the whole sink. And I never did that stuff at the house, like growing up in my parents' house, but at the store, like especially working with my uncle, like I replaced our sink without a thought because he showed me he made me replace the sink at Vreeland, and it was just like with the sink heads, and I was like, I was like sitting underneath the sink one day. I was like, wow, so this is what they're for sometimes. And it was such a what a fun moment. Yeah,
it is like funny how you're just like, wait, how do you do this? And they're like, oh yeah, it's just this, because that's like what they grew up with, and everything has become more simpler, so we may not have it, or we're still learning.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and well, and then I called Renee's dad for the garbage disposal because our garbage disposal was trashed. After our party, did you guys have any casualties after your party?
What do you mean casualty?
Well, like ours was our garbage disposal. Somebody put a shot glass in the garbage disposal. I don't think they did it on purpose, but like
Oh, no.
the weekend after, we like turned it on and it made like a ka-chunk. And I was like, oh shit, that's not good.
No.
And so
No,
I
we
was
didn't have
like,
any casualties.
I'm like sitting there watching YouTube videos. I'm like, how do I repair a garbage disposal? So I'm like,
Isn't it just replacing it at that point because you got broken glass?
so that's what I was worried about. So I like was watching videos for because I ruined our kitchen for like 2 days because I was like, Nate, like I can, and I like get it now. I'm like, let me just take a look at it before we even call anybody. I was like, because this is our place now. So if it's fucked up, like
Yeah, you can just call like maintenance for an apartment complex.
yeah. So I'm like, let me save the money first and see if I can just fix it. And then, so I like went and bought a snake and all that. So I called Renee's dad after like a day of messing with it. And I was like, hey, like I've been messing with my garbage disposal. Is there anything like I can do? Like, do you have any wisdom? Do you know what I could do? And he's like, nope, just call a plumber. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I've worked on it for like a day and I didn't know if it was easy to figure out or if it was just, and he's like, nah, sometimes you just gotta fucking suck it up and call a plumber. And I was like, okay. And
So what did they say? Or did they not come out yet?
so the plumber came out, they came out like a couple of days later and which was a quick turnaround. I like for house stuff. I don't even know. I guess I like didn't know what a regular turnaround would be, but he was like, yeah.
Because sometimes the people are really like backed up. Like I know my parents want to fix up some stuff in like one of our bathrooms, and like the electrician that we usually use, we've been using him for years. He helped us hook up like a generator in our house. And he's like, oh, I'm so backed up with jobs. He's like, I'm backed up for months. Like I won't get to you for months. So that is nice.
So I was like, oh, I guess I don't know what the turnaround is. So they wound up getting to me by either the end of the week or the next week. But the guy came in and he's like, oh, do you have a hex tool? And I was like, yeah, I got one right here. Like that shit unlock. And he's like, okay, cool. Let me see. And he like went to the bottom of the garbage disposal and he went and like broke the glass that was inside. And he's like, all right, try and run it now. And it ran and he's like, you're all good. And I was like, oh my God.
Then you're so mad at yourself that it's just like one little thing. Like,
and I told him, I was like, thanks, man. Like, I really appreciate it. I was like, what is this going to cost me? He's like, nothing. But now you know. It was nice. Even better. And he was the nicest, one of the nicest people I have ever interacted with.
That's good, because you can sometimes get some shady people. So that's good that you got a good one. Now you need to remember that guy's phone number. I literally have his card. And I never put in a review after anything. And I like do a Google review.
Yeah, they sent me an email. They're like, how was whatever his name is? And I was like, he was amazing, wonderful. I'm good. Like my plumbing services are satisfied right now, but if we need any, I'm calling this guy. Anyways, so homeowner talk. We got the homeowner talk section out of the way. Steve, I've been playing Assassin's Creed like crazy.
I started watching a little bit of the walkthroughs because I obviously haven't bought it yet or looked at even PS5s or anything. There's no deals or anything, so I'm just like, I'll wait it out. It's not a big deal. I'm busy with my classes anyways.
I was gonna say like, oh my gosh. Also, how was your class today?
It was good. Like he was just kind of going over a couple things, and we had like some like practice quizzes because we have a quiz this week, and then in 2 weeks we have an exam. So like, not gonna lie, yesterday I was freaking out because I just for some reason like was not registering, and when it's not registering, I just like get very upset at myself that I'm not getting it until like Melanie was kind of like showing me and like looking at the book. She's like, and kind of like showing me a little back and forth. I was like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Again, I understand it now.
Sometimes
better after yesterday.
You know, that's what we have that support for.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Melanie.
The best.
So oh God, it's so good. I could like I've been trying to distill how, because I could talk about this for hours, and then it like kept coming back to me. I'm like, yeah, but Steve has not played any Assassin's Creed, which I thought I still don't know why I thought that, but anyways.
Well, so now answer me this question, because when I was watching some of it online, it looks like and I don't want to give like a critic, but it looks like I don't want to, what do you say, melee attack, like the attacking looks somewhat basic. Is it not? Is it even better?
Okay, so Steve, let me we're gonna make this an interactive Miss in the Homies. Normally I always
maybe that's just like me viewing it and I'm like, wait, what? But I feel like actually like playing it, you're like, oh, okay, like it makes sense to do certain things.
So let me direct you to this clip that I have saved. All right.
Oh, you got like videos?
Oh, I figured out how to use the like not the share screen, the also this isn't the right way to do this, whatever. Oh no. Okay, wait. Anyways, we're just gonna play this clip and I'll explain after.
Okay.
You probably can't hear any sound.
No, but I can see it. It's going though. Oh, I've seen this. This looks amazing. Oh, and now I can hear some sound. Looks like a promo right there.
So I literally one of the things I was like, okay, I want to figure out how to save clips on my PlayStation, because my buddy Tony always sends me clips just of the games that he plays. And it'll be like a 3-second clip, and I'm like, I know it's so easy to do, but I've never like actually gone through and done it. So I was like,
yeah, because like, you know, how do these people do it and like make videos for people to watch? And so I'm like, it has to be like super simple.
Well, because and I watch a lot of video game YouTube, like because I'm pretty up on the games that are coming out, even though I don't play through a lot. Oh wow, so funny! I was literally going to talk about Spider-Man, and I didn't notice I was wearing Spider-Man.
I can't believe, actually, I don't know why I didn't realize this, that next week is the 20th, like the Thursday or something. And I'm like, oh my God, it's next week.
Next week is the 20th? Oh yeah, because today's the 10th.
Yeah, so in 10 days, it's out.
Dang, I keep seeing spoilers for like all the suits that are coming out.
Yeah, I've seen like a few, but it says that there's like 60 some.
Yeah, and I'm
That's
like,
insane.
It looks so cool. It looks so cool. Okay, but what I was gonna ask you is how so because if you don't play multiplayers, and
I need to like get some of the ones out that I have.
I was trying to think. I was like, okay, well, he doesn't play Assassin's Creed. I know you said you like more RPG focused games. So like, what games are you? Do you I guess not regularly play? What games are your big games? Because I like have been so excited for Assassin's Creed, because when I got my the very first Assassin's Creed game I played was with Tommy, Jasmine's brother, and we played, or I was watching him play the fourth Assassin's Creed, and Ezio, the main character, was why Tommy named his son Ezio. And I
make that connection till you just said it.
I thought, well, first off, when he showed me this game, I was like, this is the coolest game I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know what this is, but I love it. And then like, as I started playing them, found out he's like, when I heard that Tommy was naming his son Ezio, I was like, oh my God, like Tommy loved Assassin's Creed. But so Assassin's Creed has been like a huge.
You've grown up with it now.
Yeah, at this point I have like
That's awesome that like it's like continued so much, because I feel like some of them don't really.
Yeah, and so to get to your earlier question about the like combat, it's weird because so like
Yeah, is it like different than the older ones?
so it's so I try not to watch videos about games I'm gonna play because I'm like,
Okay.
I want to go in no spoilers. I want to like, that's why it's like so hard for me with the Spider-Man game, because I'm not gonna play it for such a long time, and the videos look so cool. I was like, oh, I
There's
just want
only,
to.
I think, the promos that are out there, because like anything that new pops up on YouTube, like it comes to like my feed. So the only thing I've seen is like the promotion. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I've seen like this video before. It's the same like 2-3 minute clip that has already been out there for a month or so.
See, I like the only one I've watched in full is the like, I think it's the cinematic with like the lizard at the docks.
Yeah.
But like, so I was watching a video on Assassin's Creed Mirage because I was like, I got it now. I've played like maybe like 6 hours, so I'm like past the prologue. I like know kind of what the game is going to be about now.
Yeah.
And like from me starting on the older games, and because there's what, one, two.
I think you counted this up last time and had like 12 or something.
Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, 4, Syndicate, another one, Unity. I think there is like 12. I think this might be 12 or 13, but like it is similar to the older ones in that I think it's a smaller scope. It's the smaller scope and like smaller like sandbox of the older ones, but it takes like some of the newer, which like I didn't play any. I have the newest one, and I played the one set in ancient Greece. So like,
okay,
3 games ago. Yeah, because Valhalla is the most recent one, and then there was Odyssey. Okay, huge. Anyways, huge universe. Too many. But it's been so cool to play this one, because what it really feels like they did. And I haven't played fully played an Assassin's Creed game through all the way since like high school. So like,
okay,
I've played them, but like, kind of played them for a little bit, and then I'm like, because the big open world, which like I was a huge fan of the open world games when they started coming out, but then I feel like they got way too big.
Yeah, some of them are way too much.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't play 100-hour game. What the hell? I got a life. Like, I can play like a 40-hour game, 50, like maybe,
right?
Like over the course of months. But so it feels like they took the first game, and they like dropped this game in that setting or that time period, because it's like 800 CE. It's like it like takes place in Baghdad, which I was like another reason that I was like super pumped for it.
Well, yeah, is it like kind of at the beginning of the timeline of the story, or is it like in the middle, or
no? Oh my gosh! So
because that's a whole thing. I was trying
that's
to
a
watch
whole
a couple videos, and I was like, wait,
it's so confusing. I gave up, and that was the thing. Like, I think that's why I got really into Assassin's Creed, because I was like, I loved how complicated and convoluted the story was at like the 5th game. But by the time I like checked back in at like the 10th game, I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. It was too confusing at 4, but like the original ones are so it's basically, do you know like the premise of it, or like?
Yeah, kind of an idea. Yeah,
it's basically like the Templars are bad, the Assassins are good, and in the middle there's like this ancient civilization with like alien technology, and so both sides are trying to get this alien technology one to do bad stuff, one to do good stuff. Like it's basically all about like free will. It's weird,
Yeah.
but like so far into this game, and the older games were split between like the actual assassin that you were playing and then the like modern day like assassins, which like in that point was like what, 2010 2012 maybe. It was like well, I mean it was modern day. I was gonna say modern day, but it was modern day.
You could like switch between characters and people.
So it was like
Interesting.
well, so the main gameplay was like Ezio in the Italian Renaissance doing his assassin thing.
Yeah.
And then you would like zoom out at the end of the missions and you were playing as this other guy, and this other guy was like he was a new recruit to the assassins in the modern day. And the only reason you're playing as Desmond Miles is because he has DNA in common with Ezio. So that was the whole connection between them. And then the Ezio. Oh no! It like gets more complicated down the line. It's so fucking, but like, and I thought that was so cool. I was like, because it was science fiction-y, but it was also historical, and
yeah.
The more complicated it got, the more I was like, this is insane. I like this, and the games just got too big. But so this new one is like more, I feel like shrunk down. They made the free running like tighter, and it feels more fluid. And honestly, on the PS4, it still like looks pretty nice. So I was like,
See, that was the other thing I was gonna ask you. You don't have like glitching or anything. Maybe it's just like me and my system, because like when I tried to do what is that, Shadow of Mordor, because that one you could do PS4, PS5, and I would experience like glitching. So maybe it's just like my processor, or like that it can't keep up with it. I don't know.
I have no idea, because the Assassin's Creed games are buggy as hell too. Which like this is the most recent game I'm playing on my PS5, like fully, because before I was playing Zelda, which like I gotta get back to that too. That's like another 300-hour game. I only have so much time to play video games. Like even
right.
Even these past couple of days have just been just trying to get clips for this, which like is another thing. I'm like, wow, I kind of respect like video game people who get like. Do you ever watch those like? Oh, no, I guess because.
Well, no, like that guy that I sent you, like I like watching his because he does commentary when it needs it, and then he doesn't do commentary when he doesn't. And he had recently, when I've been watching the Mirage ones, he's like, okay, I'm ready. I put the kids to bed or whatever. So I'm like, okay, he's doing this like at night, like, and I don't know if he has like full-time job or this is his full-time job or whatnot.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, like he's dedicating even more time to not only like playing it and recording it, but then also editing it and uploading it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And the one you sent me was like an hour something video.
Yeah, because like sometimes they're either an hour or sometimes they're like 30 minutes.
Yeah, see, and like an hour video takes a long time to upload.
And I guess for him, he's just like, okay, I'm doing this hour or whatever, so he doesn't really have to do that much more editing, but still, like,
yeah.
It's something you still have to do.
Yeah, that's like the editing for these. Like these, I know what I'm doing, but like add in a little bit after. Okay, so you played Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah, well, what was it? I played the first and the second one? I can't remember their names. Oh, wait, Shadow of Mordor and then Shadow of War. Yeah, so I know I did play those a while back. That was like when I first got my PS4? Because to answer your earlier question, like what were my bigger games? I think it depended on the system and like the time I was like growing up. So like I was saying, like with my PS2, like the Need for Speed Most Wanted was like the biggest one for me, and like kind of starting into like Kingdom Hearts and stuff. And
talk about complicated.
And then once I got to like PS3, it was different games, but now I can't even remember what I had for those. And then now like before I got the PS4, I kept hearing that the first Spider-Man was good because then they were coming out with Miles Morales. So then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll try it, whatever. Because when I think I tried like a demo version on my PS2 or something when I first bought my PS2, that Spider-Man wasn't that great, but you only get like 10 minutes to do something.
Yeah. Wow. Throwback to actual demos.
Yeah, they were like discs, and you could play like 4 or 5, but you only got like 10 minutes worth of gaming. You know what I mean?
So what's the most recent game that you play? Like you said, you and Melanie were playing Crash Bandicoot.
So we had that one. That was kind of also at the start of when I got my PS4. Trying to think. Well, because like I have the Lego Star Wars, so I did that. But like I've done all the 9 episodes, like the stories, but now there's so much more missions and other things to complete and Kyber bricks that you can get, so it's like those things like take time to do. And I'm like, okay, I'll do some here and there and like complete some things, but then after a while I get kind of bored. So something to kind of keep my attention a little bit. I really liked Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. So those were like my new favorite. Those are really cool.
I literally was gonna talk about them earlier. I
those
haven't finished.
Are awesome.
I haven't finished Forbidden West yet.
It's good, but then I heard that they added an addition, the Burning Shores thing, but it's only like a digital add-on. It just like adds like a little bit more.
The DLC.
Yeah. So you do that. So I like watched a little bit of that, so then I kind of understand. But I think they are going to come out with another one.
Oh, they're definitely going to come out with another. It was so my buddy sold me on Horizon. He was like, "Bro, I'm not even
know what it was."
He's like, "I'm not even going to like send you a video. 2 words: robot, dinosaurs." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool right there." Like I'm pretty locked in on that. And
oh man, I'd have to like get them out. But like another one that I can think of, it was just like random, but then I remember finding it and I was like, oh, this is really cool. It's like a karate one. It's called Sifu. This guy is getting revenge on this guy that killed his dad. So he's going through these different levels, and it's very, very short, and it's very much like just the story, and you do a couple other things to like get points or whatever, or complete things. It's very short, but very like to the point, but it can get very difficult very quickly, even on like the beginner mode. So I was like, oh shoot, like it gets kind of difficult because like at the end of like each, like you go to each like borough or town or whatever, and you do like 5 levels.
Each level.
At the end of each one, you're fighting a boss. So like they get harder each time, and you're doing different things to try to like avoid attacks and stuff like that, and trying to beat them. So it just depends on what you're doing. But that one I was like, oh, that's really cool.
That's another one. See, I feel like my problem is that I have so many games that I want to play.
Right.
Like, Sifu's another one. That's why I was like,
that one's super short. And that one's really good if you have the time to do that one.
That's why I like Elden Ring. When people did you play Elden Ring?
I never got into that one. Isn't that Lord of the Rings or something? It's like
that one's Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
It's like the Dark Souls. From what I understand, it's like it's like Dark Souls meets Breath of the Wild, like open world. Did you play any of the Dark Souls games? I didn't either. I tried, but they were way too hard. And I've realized that I'm not very good at video games, which is another reason why I think I like don't play multiplayer. I'm like,
I think if the game doesn't have like a good story, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing for me. Like it's got to have like a good like cutscenes to good stories and stuff, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm in. But but if it's just like slash or shooting or whatever, I'm like, I'm not into that. Like I don't care.
What would you say your favorite game you've played is then?
That's so hard. Yeah, probably either like Need for Speed or Kingdom Hearts or
which
Kingdom Hearts? Was the one I was gonna tell you too. Is I don't know if you've played them, but you would probably really like Uncharted. Those were really good. My roommate got me into those, and I played all 4. I loved them.
I haven't, but I've heard the exact same thing. Like, I've heard people be like, you would love it because it's like an action movie, right? It's just like you're
well, it's
basically
just
playing
like
through an
it's
action
this
movie.
guy's like history, and it's a Nathan Drake story of like him kind of trying to connect with his father. That was like a
He's like a grave robber, right? He's like an Indiana Jones type.
kind of he's like going after gold and stuff, and going after artifacts because his dad's name's attached to it, but other people are obviously trying to get this gold, so it's kind of like that back and forth a little bit. So no, I thought it was like really good because I think they came out with like in PS3 or something, but when they came out with the PS4 they put like a combo pack so that you could do 1, 2, and 3, and then came out with a fourth one. So they have that, and I think they have another spin-off where you can play other characters or something. So I haven't played that one yet, but that one I think you would really like.
I really like the company that makes Uncharted. Not
what is it? I don't remember the company, but I do think now because
Naughty Dog,
like Spider-Man and stuff, like it really does depend on the company because some companies really like bomb them. Like I was telling you with the Prince of Persia remake, like they bombed that. They could have been like Assassin's Creed Mirage, and they bombed it. I was like, what is this? Like they immediately almost took it off the market after they announced it because people were just bombing it.
Was it the side scroller one or was it the
It was Sands of Time, so it was the
Sands
first
of Time.
one.
Okay.
So it was one, of 3.
They canceled the other 2.
Something I can't remember, but yeah, Sands of Time. They wanted to redo that one, and yeah, like the graphics were just a tiny bit better than the PS2 version. So like when you look at ours now, and then you look at that, and you're like, it's 2023. Like what are you talking about?
Oh, it just recently came out.
Like probably a year or 2 ago.
Oh, what?
Oh, they didn't do it justice anymore.
Trash.
I was like, what? Come on.
See, and so when I, oh my gosh, Steve, I also didn't tell you when I bought Assassin's Creed. I was sitting in Target, and I was so excited. I was like, okay, I'm getting Assassin's Creed today. I decided that's what I'm gonna do. I like literally had to have Nay talk me into it. I was like, is this stupid? Like, I just bought Zelda. Like, I definitely don't need to buy another game. She's like, you've been talking about this game for months. She's like, if you don't get it, like, you're gonna be so sad. She's like, just get it. You're gonna play it. You're gonna enjoy it. And I like am so glad I got it. But went to Target, sent Nay a picture. This is the second time I got burned by sending somebody a picture this weekend. And I sent her a picture, and I was like, yes, on my way home. Get home, get ready to pop it in. It's the PS5 version.
Oh, you accidentally.
I bought the PS5 version. I was so upset.
Were you able to at least like exchange it?
So I sat there for a minute. I was like, oh my God, am I gonna go return? Because it was Saturday, and like it was halfway through the day. I was like, it's gonna take me another little bit to go
like
and
do
do.
At Target or something? Or?
Yeah, I got it at Target. So I like wound up going and returning it and doing it, but I was like,
yeah.
So by the time it like installed and everything, I like didn't get to play it until Sunday. But it was like, oh my God, it was so silly.
That's fun. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I don't know if you saw it because like I just saw it today, so I wanted to send you a link. I'll send it to you right now.
Quick, Steve, we have less than a minute.
I know. They came out with an updated version of the PS5s that are coming out in November. Like the slim version or whatever.
PS5 Slim?
Something like that. It's pretty much the same thing.
So that means the regular PS5 should be going down.
Either that or discontinued or whatever. I was like, wait a minute, what is happening? Because I keep hearing about like a Pro.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was happening either. But so I wanted to let you know and be like, oh my God, what?
I'm gonna keep an eye out for it now because I just invested in PS4 buying another game, and I still have to finish Horizon West. So I'm keeping an eye out for you